Let the gentle rhythms of medieval life carry you into peaceful slumber. You are back in time, safe and comfortable, merely an observer of a world long past. You do not wake so much as you float up from the deep, dark well of sleep. The world seeps in not with a jolt, but a seepage. The whisper of a steady, gentle rain on the slate roof overhead, a sound as familiar as your own breath. It's a sound that soothes the very stones of the cottage, a soft percussion on tile and thatch. You are Isabelle. And the first true sensation is not sight, but a heaviness. The deep, solid warmth of Pierre's arm is slung across your waist, his breathing a low, steady tide against your back. His breath smells faintly of last night's small ale and the wood smoke that lives in his tunic. You lie still, letting the world assemble itself. The loft is a landscape of soft grays and deep blues, the darkness just beginning to bleed at the edges. A single, high, cobwebbed window, its panes streaked with the grime of a long winter, allows the first bruised light of a pre-dawn to creep in. It falls in a weak, dusty column, illuminating a universe of swirling dust motes. You watch them, a slow, silent galaxy turning in the pale beam. You hear it then, the sound that likely woke you. Not a sound, but the absence of one. The rain has slackened to a fine, silvery drizzle, and in the quiet, you hear the distinct, soft thump of a slow, dripping leak. A single, fat drop has found its way through a worn spot in the thatch, landing with a patient plink into the copper basin you placed last night under the rafters. It's a familiar rhythm, a second, slower heartbeat for the house. Carefully, with the precision of long practice, you slide from under Pierre's heavy arm and the shared warmth of the woolen blankets. The worn floorboards, smooth with generations of bare feet, are icy against your soles. You find your thick woolen stockings where you left them, still warm from the hearthstone you placed there last night, and pull them on. Down the steep, narrow stairs, the cottage unfolds. The main room is a cave of shadows and embers. The great hearth is the heart of it all, and though the fire is banked to a dull, throbbing crimson heart, its warmth is a living presence that pushes against the dawn's chill. You can feel its dry, smoky breath on your face from 3 paces away. Your first act is a ritual of quiet care. You kneel, the hearthstone rough under your knees, and with the iron poker, you gently part the bed of gray ash. A heart of pulsing orange coals winks back at you, breathing a soft, red light onto your face. You feed it, not with a great log, but with a few sticks of kindling and a single, dense chunk of seasoned oak. A tiny, eager flame licks up, casting a new, dancing light that makes the shadows of the hanging pots and herbs on the low ceiling jump and sway. This is your time. This gray, silent, in-between hour, before Pierre's hammer begins its ring in the smithy, before the children stir with their bright, hungry noises. The only sounds are the low, wet hiss of the damp wood catching, the thump-plink of the solitary leak, and the soft, almost sound of the rain outside. You don't light a rushlight. The fire's growing light is enough. You take your mending basket from its shelf. Your fingers, in the dim, fire-flickered light, find the familiar weight of a sock belonging to your son, Pierre. A hole at the heel, worn thin from his relentless running. You can feel the faint, grimy history of his days, adventures in the coarse weave. You take up your bone needle and the coarse, undyed wool you've spun. The rhythm begins. The shush-shush of the wool thread pulled tight. The gentle, wooden talk of the darning mushroom as you turn the sock inside out over it. Your world shrinks to this. The pull of the thread, the building of tiny, precise loops, the transformation of a whole into a landscape of neat, sturdy crosses. The fire's heat is a physical pressure on your right side, the cool breath of the rainy dawn at your back from a chink in the shutter. You are not just darning a sock. You are weaving a small, perfect circle of order. The stitch is a tiny anchor in the quiet house. The sound of your own steady breathing, the crackle of the fire, the rhythmic plink of the leak, the soft rasp of thread through wool, they become a single, soothing cadence. This is the true work, you think, as the first true light of dawn, a colorless, weak light, begins to seep through the greasy panes of the high window, turning the grime into a map of a far-off, grubby constellation. This is the truth of your days. Not the grand tales, but this. The quiet, the waiting, the mending of the small, soft things. You are Isabelle Thorne, the herbalist of Oakhaven, and the midday sun is a gentle, warm hand on your back as you step out of your cozy cottage. The village is alive with the hum of daily life, a symphony of sounds that soothes your soul. You can hear the rhythmic clanging of Pierre's hammer at the blacksmith's forge, a steady drumbeat that echoes through the cobblestone streets. The air is filled with the inviting aroma of simmering stew, a rich and hearty scent that wafts from the open windows of the nearby tavern, the Rusty Tankard. You can almost taste the slow-cooked meat and the earthy vegetables, the savory broth that promises warmth and comfort. The scent mingles with the sweet, herbal fragrance of your garden, a private Eden that you've cultivated with love and care. You walk through the village, your bare feet pressing into the soft, cool earth. The ground is damp from the morning rain, and the scent of petrichor lingers in the air. You can hear the distant murmur of the villagers, their voices a soft, comforting hum that blends with the rustling of leaves and the chirping of birds. You reach the market square, where the midday bustle is in full swing. The sound of haggling and laughter fills the air, a lively melody that dances with the clinking of coins and the rustling of fabric. You can see the vibrant colors of fresh produce, the deep greens of leafy vegetables, the bright reds of ripe apples, and the sunny yellows of summer squash. You stop by the well, the cool stone a welcome respite from the warm sun. You can feel the rough texture of the stone under your fingers as you lean against it, the coolness seeping into your skin. You can hear the gentle splash of water as the villagers draw their buckets, the sound a soothing counterpoint to the lively market scene. You make your way to the tavern, the promise of a hot meal drawing you in. The Rusty Tankard is a cozy, welcoming space, the low ceiling and stone walls exuding a sense of warmth and comfort. The fire in the hearth crackles softly, the sound a gentle rhythm that blends with the murmur of conversation and the clinking of tankards. You slide into a familiar booth, the worn wood smooth under your hands. The scent of the stew is even stronger here, a rich, savory aroma that makes your mouth water. You can hear the soft sizzle of meat as it cooks, the gentle bubbling of the broth, the clatter of pots and pans as the tavern keeper moves about his domain. The tavern keeper, a burly man with a warm smile and a hearty laugh, brings you a steaming bowl of stew. You can feel the heat radiating from the bowl, the warmth seeping into your hands. You can see the rich, savory broth, the tender chunks of meat and vegetables, the hint of herbs that you've come to recognize as your own. You take a spoonful of the stew, the warm, savory broth coating your tongue. You can taste the slow-cooked meat, the earthy vegetables, the rich, savory broth. The flavors meld together, a symphony of taste that soothes and comforts. You can hear the soft clinking of spoons against bowls, the murmur of conversation, the gentle crackle of the fire. You eat slowly, savoring each spoonful, each bite a moment of pure, unadulterated pleasure. The sounds of the tavern fade into the background, the world narrowing down to the warmth of the stew, the comfort of the booth, the soft murmur of the midday bustle outside. You can feel the warmth of the stew spreading through you, a comforting heat that chases away the last vestiges of the morning's chill. You can feel the soft, worn wood of the booth under your hands, the smooth, warm bowl in your grasp. You can hear the soft murmur of conversation, the gentle crackle of the fire, the distant hum of the village. You finish your stew, the warmth and comfort of the meal lingering in your body, your mind. You can feel the soft, cool breeze as you step back out into the village, the warmth of the sun on your skin. You can hear the distant clanging of Pier's hammer, the soft murmur of the villagers, the gentle rustling of leaves. You walk back to your cottage, the midday sun a warm, comforting hand on your back. The village is alive with the hum of daily life, a symphony of sounds that soothes your soul. You can hear the rhythmic clanging of Pier's hammer, the soft murmur of conversation, the gentle rustling of leaves. You step into your cottage, the cool, dim interior a welcome respite from the warm sun. You can feel the soft, cool wood of the floor under your feet, the smooth, cool stone of the walls. You can hear the soft, gentle hum of the hearth, the crackle of the fire, the soft rustle of the wind outside. You sit down at your table, the smooth, cool wood under your hands. You can hear the soft scratch of your quill as you begin to write, the gentle rustle of parchment, the soft crackle of the fire. You can feel the warmth of the fire, the soft, cool wood under your hands, the gentle hum of the village outside. You write slowly, each word a moment of pure, unadulterated peace. The sounds of the cottage fade into the background, the world narrowing down to the warmth of the fire, the comfort of the chair, the soft scratch of the quill. You can feel the soft, cool wood under your hands, the smooth, cool parchment, the gentle hum of the village outside. You can hear the soft, gentle hum of the hearth, the crackle of the fire, the soft rustle of the wind outside. The world is a symphony of sound, a gentle, soothing melody that lulls you into a state of pure, unadulterated relaxation. You can feel the warmth of the fire, the soft, cool wood under your hands, the gentle hum of the village outside. You can hear the soft, gentle hum of the hearth, the crackle of the fire, the soft rustle of the wind outside. The world is a symphony of sound, a gentle, soothing melody that lulls you into a state of pure, unadulterated relaxation. You can feel the warmth of the fire, the soft, cool wood under your hands, the gentle hum of the village outside. You can hear the soft, gentle hum of the hearth, the crackle of the fire, the soft rustle of the wind outside. The world is a symphony of sound, a gentle, soothing melody that lulls you into a state of pure, unadulterated relaxation. You can feel the warmth of the fire, the soft, cool wood under your hands, the gentle hum of the village outside. And as the sun begins to set, casting a warm, golden glow over the village, you can feel the warmth of the day, the comfort of the cottage, the gentle hum of the hearth. The world is a symphony of sound, a gentle, soothing melody that lulls you into a state of pure, unadulterated relaxation. And as you close your eyes, the sounds of the cottage, the village, the world, fade into a soft, gentle hum, a lullaby that soothes and comforts, that wraps you in a blanket of warmth and peace. You set the mortar down on the worn oak table, your fingers still dusty with dried chamomile. The afternoon has stretched long, and now the light through the shutters falls in amber bars across the floor, catching motes of herb dust that drift like snow in still air. Outside, you hear the distant clang of your husband's hammer peer at his anvil, working late on a commission. The sound is rhythmic, comforting, a pulse that has marked your days for 15 years. The tavern's common room spreads before you, empty now in this quiet hour between the midday meal and evening custom. You've come to deliver your weekly basket of remedies to Thomas the tavern keeper, packets of feverfew for headaches, bundles of dried mint for digestion, small clay pots of salve for burns and cuts. The tavern uses more of your preparations than anyone in Oakhaven, save perhaps the manor house itself. You run your hand along the edge of the trestle table, feeling the grain beneath your palm. The wood is smooth here, worn by countless elbows, countless wooden cups set down and lifted again. There are stains, 2 dark rings, where ale has soaked into the grain over decades, lighter patches where fat has dripped from trenchers. The table remembers every meal, every gathering. It holds the history of the village in its surface. The hearth dominates the room, even now in summer's warmth. You move toward it, drawn by habit and the eternal fascination of fire. The stones are blackened with soot, layered thick as paint. You crouch beside it, studying the ash bed where a small fire still breathes, kept alive for cooking, for the endless need of hot water. A kettle hangs from the iron crane, and you can hear the whisper of steam beginning, that soft hiss that speaks of heat and moisture meeting. Your daughter, Sophie, will be here later, helping serve the evening customers. The thought brings a small smile. She's 12 now, old enough to earn her own coins, though she still moves with a child's ungainly grace, all elbows and uncertainty. You remember her this morning, braiding her dark hair before the polished brass mirror in your cottage, her tongue caught between her teeth in concentration. You straighten, your knees creaking slightly, the price of hours spent kneeling in your garden, tending the plants that fill your baskets. The light has shifted again. It pours now through the high window near the back, illuminating the tapestry that hangs there, faded and moth-eaten but precious still. It shows a hunting scene, nobles on horseback, hounds running. Lady Catherine at the manor commissioned it decades ago, then gifted it to the tavern when her tastes changed. Now it soaks up smoke and moisture, its threads slowly surrendering to time. You walk to the window and look out at the yard behind the tavern. There's the midden heap, crawling with flies even from here. There's the well with its wooden cover, the rope coiled beside it. 2 chickens scratch in the dirt, their movements jerky and purposeful. Beyond, you can see the edge of the village green, and farther still, the dark line of the forest that cups Oakhaven like protective hands. The door to the kitchen stands ajar, and you catch the scent of onions, of pottage simmering in the great iron pot that never fully empties, only receives new additions each day: bones, vegetables, barley, whatever can be spared. The smell is thick, earthy, not entirely pleasant but familiar as your own breath. This is the scent of survival, of making do, of feeding many mouths from little. You hear footsteps on the stairs, Thomas descending from the rooms above where travelers sleep on straw mattresses, where the ale barrels are stored in the coolness, where the tavern's private life unfolds away from public eyes. He appears, wiping his hands on his apron, his face creasing into a smile when he sees you. "Isabelle," he says, and his voice is warm. "You've brought the remedies." You nod, gesturing to your basket on the table. He moves to examine your offerings, lifting each packet with surprising delicacy for such large hands. You watch the light play across his face, catching in the silver of his beard, and you think how everyone in Oakhaven is connected by such small exchanges. Your herbs for his coin, his hearth for the village's hunger, your husband's nails and hinges holding everything together. The hammer sound continues in the distance, steady as a heartbeat. The afternoon breathes around you, golden and slow, waiting for evening to arrive. The chill of the late evening seeps through the thick stone walls of your cottage. You pull the worn wool shawl tighter around your shoulders, the familiar scratchiness, a comforting sensation against your skin. Outside, the rain has begun, a soft, persistent drumming on the slate tiles of your roof. It's a sound you've known your entire life, a lullaby that has soothed you through countless nights. You are in your small, cluttered workshop, the air thick with the earthy scent of dried herbs and the faint, lingering aroma of wood smoke from the hearth. A single tallow candle flickers on your workbench, casting dancing shadows that play across the bundles of lavender, rosemary, and thyme hanging from the rafters. Their muted colors are softened by the dim light, like faded tapestries. Your fingers, stained with the pigments of crushed petals and roots, carefully sort through a small earthenware bowl. You are selecting the finest sprigs of chamomile, their tiny white flowers like scattered pearls. The delicate petals feel cool and papery beneath your touch. This batch is for young Thomas, the miller's son, who has been plagued by restless nights. A few drops of the infused oil, a gentle massage on his temples, and he should drift into peaceful slumber. The rain outside intensifies, a steady, rhythmic patter that seems to wash away the day's worries. You can hear the distant, muffled clang of piers hammer from the forge, a sound that usually signals the end of his long day. But tonight, it's softer, more hesitant, as if even he is yielding to the gentle insistence of the weather. He'll be home soon, his strong hands smelling of soot and sweat, his face etched with the day's labor, but his eyes always holding a warmth for you. You pick up a small, smooth pestle and begin to gently bruise the chamomile flowers in a mortar. The faint, sweet fragrance is released, mingling with the other scents in the room. You close your eyes for a moment, inhaling deeply, letting the aroma fill your senses. It's a scent that speaks of calm, of quietude, of the earth's gentle healing power. The scratching of a quill pen breaks the quiet. Young Pierre, your son, sits at the small table near the hearth, his brow furrowed in concentration. He's practicing his letters, the ink a dark smudge on the parchment. The soft glow of the hearth fire illuminates his intent face. You watch him, a quiet fondness blooming in your chest. He's growing so quickly, his hands no longer the clumsy paws of a child, but capable, eager. The scratching of his quill is a small, persistent sound, a testament to his growing mind, his desire to learn. Sophie, your daughter, is curled on the rug before the hearth, a worn wooden doll nestled in her arms. Her breathing is soft and even, her small body relaxed in the warmth. The firelight plays across her rosy cheeks, highlighting the delicate curve of her eyelashes. She's already asleep, her dreams no doubt filled with the fantastical tales you sometimes tell her before tucking her in. The crackling of the fire is a gentle murmur, a comforting presence in the room. You continue your work, your movements slow and deliberate. Each herb, each petal is handled with care, with a deep respect for its purpose. You are the village herbalist, a keeper of ancient knowledge, a purveyor of comfort and healing. It is a quiet life, a life of service, but one that fills you with a profound sense of peace. The sound of the cottage door creaking open makes you look up. Pierre stands silhouetted against the dim light of the doorway, the rain glistening on his leather apron. He shakes his head, sending a spray of water droplets onto the packed earth floor. His face is tired, smudged with charcoal, but his eyes, when they meet yours, are soft. "The rain has settled in, my love," he says, his voice a low rumble, warm like the forge's heat. You offer him a small smile. It has. "Come, warm yourself by the fire." He walks over to the hearth, the dampness of his clothes creating a small cloud of mist around him. He kneels beside Sophie, his large hand gently stroking her hair. The contrast between his rough, calloused fingers and her soft, downy hair is striking. He watches her sleep for a moment, a quiet contentment on his face. Then he turns his gaze to you. "Your work is never done, is it?" he asks, a hint of amusement in his tone. "Neither is yours, my dear blacksmith," you reply, your voice gentle. He chuckles, a deep, resonant sound. He stands and walks towards you, his boots making soft thuds on the floor. He leans down, his lips brushing your forehead. The scent of soot and rain is strong on him, but beneath it, there's the familiar, comforting scent of your husband. "Come, let us rest," he murmurs. "The herbs will wait. The village will wait. Tonight we have only the rain and each other." You nod, your heart swelling with a quiet joy. You carefully place the pestle down, the chamomile flowers undisturbed. The candle continues to flicker, its light a small beacon in the growing darkness. The rain outside is a steady drumbeat, a promise of a peaceful night. You rise and walk towards Pierre, your hand finding his. His fingers, rough and strong, close around yours. Together, you turn away from the workshop, leaving the scents and sounds of your labor behind, ready to embrace the quiet comfort of the night. The rain continues its gentle song, a lullaby for Oakhaven. You are Isabelle. You are not simply in the room. You are the warm, still heart of it. The great hearth of the hearthstone, your family's tavern, breathes in a slow, orange rhythm beside you. The fire is not a wild, leaping thing, but a low, muscular pulse of heat that paints the worn flagstones and heavy, dark beams in a light that seems spun from old honey. You can feel its warmth on your face, a gentle pressure like a hand on your cheek. Across the room, your husband, Pierre, sits with your son, young Pierre, their heads bent low over the scarred surface of a trestle table. They are mending a harness. The shush of the whetstone on the awl's blade is the only sound, a soft, rhythmic exhalation against the deeper, steady breath of the fire. You are in the small, tucked-away nook behind the bar, the tavern's quiet, secret heart. Before you lies the ledger, its pages a familiar landscape of your family's life. The quill in your hand is not heavy, but its purpose is. You dip the nib into the small well of oak gall ink, the gesture as automatic as breathing. The scratch of the quill's tip on the thick, fibrous paper is a sound you feel in your teeth. It is the sound of memory being made solid. You do not write of grand events, but of sacks of rye flour, of a cask of good Bordeaux purchased from a passing merchant from the south, of the mending of the thatch over the stables. You write the price of a night's lodging, a meal, a flagon of small ale. The numbers, in your neat, slanting hand, are the quiet, beating pulse of your life here. The scent of the evening's pottage, a rich, dark fragrance of leek and mutton, still lingers in the air, a ghost of the supper hour. It mingles with the smells of beeswax from the candles you've just snuffed out, of the old, polished oak of the bar, and the faint, clean scent of the rushes you changed this morning, still carrying a ghost of the summer meadows. You can hear the soft, even breathing of your daughter, Sophie, who has fallen asleep in the window seat, a half-darned sock slipping from her lap, her head pillowed on her arms. Her hair, the color of winter wheat, is a tangle of gold in the firelight. The world outside the thick, wavy glass of the window is a study in silver and blue. A gentle, persistent rain, the first true autumn rain, falls straight down, a soft hiss against the slate roof, and a soft, steady drip from the eaves into the water butt by the door. Each drop that hits the water's surface in the barrel outside makes a perfect, plosive plink, a sound so regular it has become a part of the silence. You can see the dark, wet flanks of the village's thatched roofs gleaming in the twilight, the world reduced to a watercolor wash of grays and deep greens. Your husband's low, rumbling voice is a vibration you feel as much as hear. He is showing Pierre, your son, how to feel for the weakness in the leather, how to judge the tension of a stitch. Their conversation is a low, murmured counterpoint to the rain. A question about tension, a quiet word of praise. This, you think, is the real ledger. Not the one of ink and vellum, but this. The sound of your family in a moment of quiet industry, the safety of a stout roof against the rain, the shared warmth of a fire after a day's honest labor. You put the quill down, your fingers stained with the blue of the ink and the faint, earthy smell of the oak gall. You stretch your back, the simple, solid weight of your own body a familiar comfort. For a moment, you just watch. You watch the firelight play on your son's face, so serious and focused as his father guides his hand. You watch the gentle rise and fall of Sophie's shoulders as she sleeps, the rhythm as steady as the rain. The tavern is settling into its nighttime self. The chairs are upturned on the tables, their legs in the air like sleeping beetles. The flagstones are swept, the tankards are all washed and hanging. The great room is a landscape of long shadows and deep, quiet corners, the firelight lapping at the edges of the dark. The silence is not empty, but full of presence. It is the sound of a held breath, the space between one day and the next. You close the heavy ledger. The brass clasp makes a soft, final click that seems to seal the day. The scratch of your quill has ceased. The rains hush, the deep, resonant snap of a log shifting in the hearth, the low murmur of your husband's voice teaching your son a quiet, useful thing. This is the music of your slumbering tavern. It is not peace you feel, but peace itself, as tangible as the smooth wood of the table under your palms. You are not waiting for anything. This, in the warm, quiet heart of the storm, is the whole of it. You are here. All is well.